Thanks, Mars.
Over now to Jeff in Lethbridge. Hey, buddy.
Hey, okay, well, listen, hey, welcome back to Lethbridge, Alberta. Here we go. And I'm sorry, welcome back to Lethbridge, Alberta.
In considering the whole economic development idea and models, we looked around, but it really wasn't reinventing the wheel because Calgary has one, Edmonton has one, so we kind of thought that it was kind of a coming of age thing for Lethbridge in the sense that we were a big enough community and a large enough center that we should move to the next state.
It didn't take as long as I would have thought. We put together a focus group. We started talking with people in the community, the chamber, but other business people, and people outside the business community as well. And it wasn't too long before we were able to go back to City Council and ask City Council to create a model.
So under the first little while, we kind of got ourselves organized, and we had a big planning session at City Hall. And I'll never forget Bill Waugh, who was the Transportation Board member at that time, got up and said, "We expect economic development Lethbridge to attract 50 new jobs by the end of the second year." And 50 new jobs, that was unheard of. I couldn't sleep for 2 weeks after they told me that, right?
There was also some challenges, like when BSE hit, we recognized the immense potential impact that would have to this area.
It was May 20th when we had a case of BSE, and the group from EDL came out and said they wanted to support the cattle industry in southern Alberta, and I think that's exactly what we needed as producers at the time. It was great. They had rallies. We were trying to sell beef, and when it was such a demoralizing period in our industry, it was just great to have an organization like that to come up and say, "Hey, we're proud that you guys are producing this product, and we're going to stand behind you."
So those things helped us start developing a culture in economic development in Lethbridge that I think has come through to this day. It was sort of a can-do attitude. Whatever needs to be done, we're going to do it, and we did it.
Sun Life Financial has announced it plans to build a customer support center in Lethbridge. The company says it hopes to open a temporary location in the fall while the new service center is under construction. Terry Vogt reports.
And I'd ask you all right now to join with me.
Officials with Economic Development Lethbridge say they've been working on this project for the past 11 months.
Earlier this year, Sunrise Poultry announced its plans to establish itself in Lethbridge. Now the ball will roll in earnest. Today was the sod turning ceremony. Things are set.
The construction will begin next week.
I guess, first of all, the marketing programs that EDL does. It puts a spotlight on Lethbridge, and largely it looks like it's about telling the Lethbridge story outside of Lethbridge. But probably just importantly is it tells folks from Lethbridge about Lethbridge.
I think when I started there were 5 of us. Now we're up to 10 years later, so I think that's not a bad management of time and resources, because when you look at the graph that shows the growth in the number of projects that we've managed, the growth in the not only volume but the dollar value of our budget and the activities that we undertake, I think you can see that we are very productive as a team, and I think we pride ourselves on that, on being efficient and effective, and we hope to create an environment that means that the whole community benefits from our success, and that's the spirit of the staff team, I think, at Economic Development Lethbridge.
Community Challenge road trip, and what a crowd we have out here this morning. You know, one of the things they have in Lethbridge is a tremendous university, the University of Lethbridge. It's a tremendous education faculty, and they also have a great faculty of music, Bev and Seamus. And so, keeping in the spirit of what we've been doing, let's hear just a little bit from the steel drum band from the University of Lethbridge. Hit it, guys.
1, 2, 3.
I think we all learned something. We've got a community that does deeply care about who we are and what we present to the world. But we're not very good at getting out and bragging. So here was an opportunity to get national exposure with, the gung-ho-ness of breakfast television sort of thing, and get people out. And people came out in droves, and it was exciting. And, we did the voting and all this other fun stuff. So it was exciting, but something about that struck me. We don't brag about ourselves as well as we should. And maybe we need, instead of bragging, we need to just tell our story better. And I think that's one of the ongoing initiatives, but also one of the challenges that EDL, working with their partners, has to keep in mind, because we do want more people to enjoy what we have.
In my time, we were having a major, I don't use the word crisis, but major difficulties finding enough people to help the employers of this area. There's a critical shortage of skilled and manual labor, and a lot of what this organization was doing was trying to help employers find a way to attract people to this area.
More than 70 employers participate, posting upwards of 4,000 jobs. Since then, traffic to the EDL website has quadrupled.
Reminding people that there are opportunities here was a central theme of You Belong Here, and attracting other businesses to Lethbridge because there are successful businesses already operating and expanding in this area was something that we needed to tell, and that campaign was very successful, and success breeds success.
We wanted to look at something that was long-term, that had potential, and alternative energy production has that potential. We have some of the greatest solar resources, some of the greatest wind resources, and biomass resources, probably anywhere in Canada, maybe even parts of North America.
Without question, one of the biggest feathers in your cap, one of the biggest success stories in my opinion, bar none. Yeah. Not only did that initiative allow us to say, or to no longer to be able to say best kept secret in Western Canada, we're no longer a secret here. We're out there. People know all about us. But the real side benefit of that program, in my opinion, is that it brought together all of the corporate members of that initiative in a way that nobody could predict. So now the home builders and the construction association, the realtors association, they all have a connection and a common goal to better the economy of Lethbridge and get the message out there. We're a real good place to live, good place to raise a family, good place to do business.
trying to be Los Angeles, we're not trying to be Calgary, but we're trying to be the best Lethbridge we can be. And one of the most successful examples of that, I think, it was the Team Lethbridge approach. I don't think any other community in Alberta has ever attempted that. The fact that we would get involved at that level and to represent our community, and I think it took a little while for people in Edmonton to get the message. They were a little nervous because they thought that we were coming with a checkbook in hand asking for a commitment, and that wasn't what it's about at all. It's about branding Lethbridge and letting them know that we're a vibrant, dynamic community that warrants their interest and their attention and appreciates the support they've given us. And once they realized the name of the game, they became much more enthusiastic.
When I came to this board, there was a discussion, should we try and build an incubator type facility so that university graduates, college graduates, small business in the community have a place to meet, to work, to expand their businesses. And when we first started talking about it, it was a huge project. It was a scary project for some of the people at EDL. And we were able to say, several of us that are on the board, we've been there, we've done that, here's how you deal with those situations. Now we have a wonderful facility completed. We have some good tenants in place. In fact, they've come in place much faster than we anticipated. And it's fulfilling the role that we want in Lethbridge so that university and college graduates have a place to come and start those kind of businesses that will keep them in our community.
I hear about it everywhere in the province, they know about it. Federally, they know about it as well. So I think it's a huge point of attraction for the city to bring and keep technology-based companies here. What I think is going to happen is that we're going to be able to keep a lot of those small companies here. We give them a foot to get started, and then once they start families, they get ties in the community. It's a great place to live, and hopefully they stay here and build their businesses here.
As sport and rec representative, it's not about sport and rec necessarily development or sport development, but it's about the economic viability of supporting sport and what that does for the community as far as bringing in millions of dollars of revenue, bringing in people to see Lethbridge who otherwise wouldn't be exposed to Lethbridge and having them go, wow, this is an amazing city, I want to come back here again.
The size is incredible. It's a nice size. It has very good amenities, whatever your interests are, whether it be in sports, culture, organized sports or unorganized sports. We have recreational facilities that are second to none. We have sports fields. We have arenas for ice skating. We have swimming pools, walking paths that we keep adding to year after year, and it just. I know over the years the city has grown. It is much larger than it was when we first came here, but the amenities have increased and we've kept up with it. So it's just a great place to live. I know it sounds like I'm being a cheerleader for the city, but in a sense I am, but there's a good reason for that because there's lots to cheer about in the city. The diversity of economic development, Lethbridge, from what it was and when I showed up in 2004 to what it is now, it's just been incredible, and it's been very satisfying to see that. It's just onwards and upwards, bigger and better, but again with sustained growth. It's an exciting time to be in Lethbridge, and I'm sure you're glad that my parents came here 55 years ago, and I'm not leaving this place for a long time to come.